Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's home game, where the Riverside Brookfield Bulldogs are set to face the Elmwood Park Tigers. I'm Henry Jurgens with my partner for the week, Alex McQueenie, for another week of Friday Night Lights with RBTV. Alex, it's starting to feel like football weather as it's about 65 and overcast right now. It really hasn't felt like a fall yet, but let's look into tonight's matchup. All right, two different seasons for these two teams, right? The Tigers are 0-6 and 0-4 in conference, and the Bulldogs are a good solid 6-0 and 3-0 in conference. So definitely two different teams here, right? As you saw, Elmwood Park's not really had a great season so far, and the Bulldogs, I mean, this is probably one of their better seasons in near history.
Yeah, for sure. Some players to look out for in this game, I would say Damian Retzeria, as in the last home game, he had 2 touchdowns, 1 on offense and 1 on defense, which is honestly pretty impressive, as most people don't do that. Some other ones on offense: Braden Novak, Giancarlo Garcia, Nico Caputo, and then some on offense: Warren Mason, Oscar Aguirre, and then Anthony Lembecki.
Yeah, all great players for this Bulldog squad that you just said there, Alex. So we're getting ready for kickoff. But let's look into last week a little bit, as the Bulldogs had a bit of a comeback. It was 17-7 with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. The Bulldogs ended up winning that game 21-17. Bubba Novak had 3 touchdowns, 2 in the final 4 minutes. And play of the game was when Brian Renpilla had a huge hit on the onside kick to get the Bulldogs possession when they were down 3 in that crucial moment. That just really attests to the fact that the Bulldogs are a very strong team, and I feel like most teams, when they see that, they try to, they'll cower, but the Bulldogs stood up to the challenge, and they prevailed. And we'll get the kickoff here. Bulldogs get the ball first. We'll see what they can do, and we are off. A little bit of a muffed kick, but John Evans Jr. with the good hands to recover. And the Bulldogs will get it about their own 40, 60 yards to the end zone. We'll see how the offense looks for this first possession. It appears Bubba Novak is going to be out there first for the Bulldogs.
And I did speak to Giancarlo Garcia earlier today, and the word was that he will be starting at running back tonight. In a few seconds, we'll see if that's still the case. And then possibly see him in the quarterback position later on in the game.
Yeah, Giancarlo Garcia, great athlete. He can play quarterback, running back, and played wide receiver in his youth days. So we'll see what the Bulldogs can do. Maybe some trick plays, as Giancarlo Garcia also plays quarterback. Novak takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Garcia. Garcia's first snap at running back, and it's promising. That'll be a 20-yard gain for the Bulldogs on the first play from scrimmage. Not much more you want there, Alex, out of the first play. 20-yard gain. They'll go in a bit of a hurry up. Same formation as they start with, 4 wide receivers. Novak to Jesus on the screen. Jesus looking to take it all the way on the second play of the game, and that'll be a touchdown, Bulldogs. They made that look really easy, Alex.
Yeah. That was honestly, it made it look too easy for them.
Yeah, if Elmwood Park wants any chance in this game tonight, they're definitely going to have to clean that up, Alex.
Yes.
John Bila-Bradick on for the PAT. Been one of the most consistent kickers in Bulldog history, I found out this week, Alex. Bila-Bradick. And it is good. The Bulldogs will take a 7-0 lead. That drive only took about 37 seconds, Alex, and the Bulldogs are on the board. That's not what you want to see if you're Elmwood Park. That's definitely an early sign of an 0-7 season. But let's take a look at some familiar opponents that these teams have had. Elmwood Park, they lost to Glenbard South, who RB had a comeback on last week, and they lost significantly as it was 56-0. So I don't really know how all close this game's going to be, Alex. It doesn't look strong so far, but we'll see what this Elmwood Park offense can bring. Sorry, as the Bulldogs kicking unit. Yeah, Xavier had a touchdown already in this first half. He's been a touchdown machine. He had 2 last week.
Another thing I learned recently was this is the first time this far into the season, or since 2001, I should say, that the Bulldogs have been undefeated this far into the season.
Yeah, and another cool story is that this is the Bulldogs, their first time being ranked in the top 10 of the 4A division.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's a pretty cool moment for the Bulldogs, as this is definitely one of their better teams in history, Alex.
Yes, I would agree.
You'd like to see them make a run for playoffs, as they've been, I'd say, the best team in the Upstate 8 so far. We'll see if that can prevail against teams like East St. Louis and Fenwick, always tough teams to play. And Nazareth, a new addition to the 6A circuit. Yeah, we'll see what they can do. First snap for Elmwood Park of the game. That'll be Matthew Fritz. Fritz takes the snap. He'll look to go to the outside, but gets swallowed up by the Bulldog defense. Brian Rampilla seems to be everywhere on that field.
If the Elmwood Tigers are really wanting to stay in this game and make it close, they're really going to have to step up their defense and offense to make it a close game.
Yeah, they haven't been strong this season on both sides, to be honest, giving up 4 consecutive 50-point games. Excuse me. And only putting up 6 points in those. So
yeah, that's not going to cut it.
Yeah, not very strong from the Tigers offense. They'll take the snap, though. 2 QB runs to start the game, but the Bulldogs are all over that, as it seems there's a pile of Bulldogs. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work all day, Alex. They have to look to something else if they're going to try to succeed. Another story for this game is Sean Ruckman. He is the JV quarterback. He did get called up for this game, so maybe if the Bulldogs have a significant enough lead, don't want to jinx anything, but he might get some playing time. That'd be pretty cool to see from the sophomore, his first varsity reps. 20. They'll look to pass, and that just gets, oh, that's intercepted, Jaden Barrett, and that'll be a touchdown, Bulldogs. 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes of the game, Alex.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs take a 13-0 lead, 14 pending the PAT. What a way to start the game for the Bulldogs. 2 touchdowns. Yeah, they're averaging a touchdown a minute right now.
Yes.
Great play from that defense. I saw Damian Nieves get a finger on the ball, and that was anyone's, as Jaden Barrett just found it, and that'll be 6 free points for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, last home game we talked about keeping the momentum up for the whole game, which I think will really help today's game, especially since it might be a big point differential, but keeping that momentum up and having the energy to finish all the way through till the end of the game.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you, Alex. You can't let up. Oh, and it's muffed, but John Biela-Bradick will look to throw. Jake Dudzik, and there he is, Mr. 2-point conversion. He'll catch it, and that'll be a 15-0 lead, Bulldogs. Jake Dudzik already has another 2-point conversion on the season, and that'll be a second. Definitely look to him in the red zone on that 2-point conversion. He's got some good hands, a big body. Definitely used more as a blocking tight end, but he can catch the ball when it's needed.
Yes. I feel like John Biela-Bradick is a very versatile player. He's all over the field, I feel like, whether it's kicking and anything else.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely an athlete out of John. He's not a great golfer, though. I have golfed with him a couple of times. He's not great. He's good, but I don't know. He's got to work on his golf game a little bit. Bulldogs will kick off for the second time of this game, looking to have a repeat of their first defensive series, as it was 3 plays and a touchdown for the Bulldogs, which is normally something you say for an offensive squad, but no, it was for the defense, as we saw the Jaden Barrett pick 6. 22 will be returning for the Tigers. That will be Daniel Dohoney. Dohoney will receive at about the 2. He'll look to take it out. But that'll be a great chase down by number 7, Anthony Lemke, as he was a very significant player in their win last week versus Glenbard South, getting 3 tackles and 1 tackle for a loss. This will be the Bulldogs' defense's second series of the game, looking to repeat from the first. They had obviously a great defensive possession, but they've honestly probably been one of the stronger teams in the state on defense. They rarely let up points. Granted, that Fenton game where they let up 27, but I mean they've played talent. They've had talent against them too, as Dante Jett, as we talked about a lot leading up to the Hinsdale South matchup. He had 180 yards and 3 touchdowns in the week prior to playing the Bulldogs. But John Evans Jr. said no, and he had a couple targets and 0 receptions, as that'll be a first down carry for the Tigers, and it'll get negatives, as that'll be a 2nd and 13, for the Tigers.
I feel like you got to give some credit to Elmwood Park, though, getting beat by all these teams by quite the point differential, and still wanting to come out and play their hearts out with, granted, not the biggest team ever.
Yeah, they don't have a big team. As you see, the Bulldogs and the Elmwood Park sideline, and it feels like we're watching 2 different sports almost. Yeah. As that will be Jaden Lee coming in from the outside position to make the tackle. And this will be another 3rd down and long. Last time we saw this, it was a Jaden Barrett pick 6. So the Bulldogs will look to repeat that. Let's see if Elmwood Park can get a first down here, Alex.
Yes.
As Daniel Dohoney, the quarterback, Dohoney takes the snap. He'll just hand it off up the middle, and the Bulldogs are all over that. Oh, it appears to be a... Was that a... And that was a fumble, it appears, and that'll be Bulldog ball. And the Bulldogs will have it at about the 1-yard line, Elmwood Park's 1-yard line. 2 great possessions for this Bulldogs defense so far. And Alex, this is not looking to be such a competition.
Yeah. But this is a great chance for the younger or the boys that don't play as much to get a great opportunity to be able to have that opportunity to play and do their best to maybe even try to get more playing time for the upcoming games.
Yeah, and as we see Giancarlo Garcia going in as quarterback, as you mentioned earlier, he plays both quarterback and running back. We'll see what the Bulldogs can do here. Giancarlo Garcia will hand it off to Nico Caputo, and he sneaks it in. That'll be a 3rd Bulldog touchdown in this first quarter, and that'll extend the lead to 21. The Bulldogs have been flat out dominant in this first half. Elmwood Park not even getting the ball in their own half so far, and it's been 4 minutes, 3 touchdowns, as we keep the touchdown tracker counting.
Yes. Warren Mason this season, 19 total tackles, 2 interceptions, and 1 blocked kick. Luke Ferguson, 16 total tackles, 1 pass deflection, and then 1 fumble recovery.
He also did have an interception in that last game, Alex, as that was proved to be crucial, as they barely pulled out the win 21-17.
Yes. And then Ben Viskupik, 11 total tackles, 1 forced fumble, brought back for a touchdown. And if I'm not mistaken, I think football's a newer sport for him. in high school, I would say. And honestly, he's been getting great playing time and doing great.
Yeah, Ben Biskubik, basketball star.
Yep.
He's definitely one of those nitty-gritty guys in basketball, so you can see it translate to the field. As the Bulldog defense will go out here for the third drive of the game, looking to have a three-peat in their success. Dohoney back again for the Tigers. We'll see if Dohoney can prove anything here and maybe get the Tigers going a little bit.
Even a first down, I feel like, would get them going.
Yeah, you just got to gain some sort of momentum here.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, who knows what can happen, you know?
8 minutes left in the first quarter. 22-0 RB.
And it appears that the Tigers' starting quarterback is out for this game. Matthew Fritz. Fritz, number 1, is sidelined without shoulder pads. So that is definitely a big blow for this already not very good Tigers team.
Yes.
As the Tigers will take possession here at the 25, or pardon, 20. We'll see what Dohoney and this Tigers offense can do. Hopefully a little more than the last 2 drives, Alex.
And it does seem that we are getting a couple of the younger boys out there as well.
Yes. And the Bulldogs just kind of staying strong at the line of scrimmage as they have yet to let up, or pardon, that was their first time letting up a positive yard this game. Yeah, it appears not really. Some starters don't remain in the game, as you see Brian Rampilla not out there for the Bulldogs, and Anthony Lemke, another one who is sidelined. Maybe this can get something going here for the Elmwood Park Tigers. You see Dohoney take the snap. Another QB run. And Jaden Lee is all over that as he makes a big hit to force a long third down for this Tigers team. As we've seen 2 third downs here, and we've seen 2 turnovers, Alex.
Yep.
So we'll see if the Bulldogs can maybe three-peat on turnovers in this first quarter.
They've been running the ball a lot, so maybe they'll start switching that up too. I also noticed against Fenton as well that they just kept running the ball up against us as well. Maybe that's like starting to be a trend against us.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they see something in our defense. I clearly don't, because I think that our run defense is pretty good, but we'll see. That'll be another QB run as he makes a little bit of a move, but is quickly swallowed up by Oscar Aguirre, one of the stars for this RB defense, as he flies on the field. And that'll bring up 4th and 15 for the Tigers.
If you were the coach for Elmwood, what would you tell your team right now?
I don't know. I think that's a tough question, because it's hard to keep them motivated, but at the same time, you don't want to be delusional and be like, we got this, guys. Like, I mean, everyone hears that. But I think you just got to stay positive and look at the positives. As we will see Jaden Karras deep to return. And that punt will be blocked by Warren Mason. And that'll go out for a safety. As that will make the score 24-0 Bulldogs with 5:30 left in the first quarter. The Bulldogs will also get the ball back. For some of you not familiar with what a safety is, you get 2 points when it goes out at the end zone. And then you also retain possession of the ball. And we'll see what the Bulldog offensive unit looks like after the 24-0 quick start. As it appears, we'll probably see some new faces. (24-0), Alex. How are you feeling about this game so far?
I'm starting to feel a little bad for Elmwood Park, honestly. They have to be so mentally drained and physically because they're just getting beat over and over again. But on the RB side, I think they're doing a great job. Their defense has been phenomenal. And if they want to continue to do what they're doing, they just got to stay what they're doing, especially if the younger guys are getting a chance. Got to keep them motivated and hopefully continue on the run of success.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Alex. It's hard to stay motivated, obviously, when just loss after loss. And how do you stay motivated in practice? And as a coach, honestly, it's probably hard to stay motivated as your team has just not had a great year so far. Maybe they could use it as, I don't know, motivation or something, as we'll see another kind of muffed kick, but John Evans Jr. bobbles it, but he'll take it to about the Elmwood Park 40, and the Bulldogs will have about 40 yards to go to score.
And he is brought down by Trinidad Lopez.
This next Bulldogs offensive possession, I believe we'll see Giancarlo Garcia going in for the Bulldogs. And yeah, definitely some of their star players not in the game right now. As you see, Xavier Mosick de Jesus on the sideline alongside Jaden Karras and Nico Caputo. The star-studded wide receiver room might be done for this game, Alex. Sad to see if you're a Bulldogs fan. But we actually will see Bubba Novak. We'll see two running backs in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Jacob Ratana. Who can bring him down? It'll be no one as Ratana, 5, touchdown Bulldogs. And that'll be a 40-yard run for Ratana to extend the lead to 30 in this first quarter. Wow. This is definitely not what you want to see if you're an Elmwood Park fan. The Bulldogs just all out dominating right now.
This has felt like the longest quarter, but there's still 5 minutes left.
Yeah, longest 7 minutes of an Elmwood Parks fan's life. As we'll see John Bila Bradick on to kick. A little bit of a muffed kick last time, but it ended up working out for the Bulldogs as they got a 2-point conversion out of it. And we'll see John's kick is up, and it's good, as the Bulldogs will extend their lead to 31-0 with 5 minutes here in the first quarter. I wonder if we might see some different looks from this Elmwood Park offense, as obviously what they've been doing so far has not been working at all.
Have they yet to throw the ball yet?
Yeah, they tried to throw it once, but it went to an RB defender for a touchdown. So
they're probably not doing that again. Just kidding.
Yeah, they're probably going to stay away from throwing for now. As we'll see Styler put in some new faces for this Bulldog squad. Maybe getting some less experienced players, some more experience, as you have a 31-0 lead in the first quarter. As we'll see definitely probably some JV players out there right now. John Bila Bradick still, Mr. Reliable at the kicker position. He'll be out there as he's been consistently kicking it inside their 5. Perfect placement from the senior. As I guess he gets that experience as kicker, as he was the varsity starter last year. And he did a good job last season too. As we'll see a whole new unit here for special teams. We'll see what they can do. See Will Rio flying in there to make that, trying to make a play. DeHoney will take it outside, but he'll just get swallowed up by that RB special teams unit, as that'll be a 1st and 10 from their, for the Tigers 20.
It's already a special night, as it is Military Appreciation Night for the theme tonight. But it would be an even bigger special night if the Bulldogs will come out with the win.
Yeah, I think I can predict it now, Alex. I think the Bulldogs will come out with the win as they're up 31-0 here in the first half.
Okay, what's your final prediction? We'll see who's closer.
I don't really know because at this rate, I think they might call the game at halftime, to be frank. But I'm going to go 60-0 Bulldogs, and I think the scoreboard will shut off after 60.
Okay, I'm going to go... I don't know. I'm going to go 57-0.
All right, but we see Luke Ferguson make a tackle in the backfield, and that'll back the Tigers up for second down. For the Tigers, DeHoney has not had a great night rushing, as he's only had one positive rushing play so far in this first quarter. Granted, he has time, but we'd like to see a little more productivity from this Tigers offense to finish out the first quarter. DeHoney will take the snap. Empty backfield. Sorry, never mind. This is DeHoney. He'll fake the handoff as he'll try to make a move, but Luke Ferguson and company are all over that as the Bulldogs will stop him for another loss, and that'll be a 3rd and long. A repetitive story as we've seen in this first quarter of play, as Luke Ferguson has been all over the field tonight, making back-to-back tackles here in this first half. And 3rd and long, what do you do here as the run has not worked all night, but the pass hasn't been successful either? We'll see what they...
I think they got to throw it.
Yeah, you'd assume. DeHoney will take the snap, and he'll look to run again. As he'll get a little bit of room, but ends up running out of bounds, not even passing the first marker, as that'll be a 4th down and about 13 for the Tigers. We'll see what they do, maybe go for it. You're already down so much. What's going for it from here? As the first punt didn't work either.
Yeah.
As you didn't even get a punt in play. It ended up a blocked kick and went out for a safety, blocked by Warren Mason. Warren Mason will look to repeat again. The Bulldogs stacking the line of scrimmage, as you only see one returner, Jaden Karras, and only 2 people playing safe. As that'll be a little bit of a higher kick, but that kick will really go nowhere. Getting a Tigers bounce, but will go out at around their own 42. The Bulldogs, they've had a lot of success on offense so far. We'll see if they can keep that up, as maybe we get some new faces on here as well, as we saw on the defensive side. We'll see Jake Dudzik check into the game. He already has a 2-point conversion in this game. We'll see what else he can do for the Bulldogs. The Elmwood Park defense also hasn't been great either. The offense, obviously, not doing too good, but I feel like this defense, if they step up, maybe get a turnover, they can really turn this game around for the Tigers. Yes, we'll see Giancarlo Garcia trot out with his offense. And that'll be, we'll see some new faces as we see number 25, Enzo Burke, in the backfield for the Bulldogs. Lorenzo hasn't gotten many carries this year, but he's definitely promising running back for this Bulldog squad. As Giancarlo Garcia will take off. He's got some room. Garcia to the 20. He'll cut in, and he'll look to go to the end zone, but it gets stuffed at the 3-yard line. Great run by Garcia. That'll be a 1st and goal for the Bulldogs, as Garcia has a great play there to put the Bulldogs in scoring position.
Earlier I said I talked to him, Garcia, today, and it was on a podcast actually, and one of the questions was, did you know how did you becoming a running back come into place? And he honestly didn't know he was that fast, which I kind of thought was funny, but then again, you're a quarterback, so you may not know that.
Yeah, I mean, you test your speed, obviously, but not in game a ton at the quarterback position. as he'll get sacked here. That'll set the Bulldogs back a little bit, and there is also a flag, maybe a holding on the Bulldogs, which would be double as worse for the squad, as it might set him back at least 10 yards.
Good start for Elmwood Park, though. That's huge for them.
Yeah, it looked like a missed blocking assignment, as we've seen a total new offensive front for the Bulldogs. Yeah, Giancarlo Garcia did not look happy as he got up from that. Kind of frustrated with his own line's play, as it's not his traditional offensive line. But we do see an offensive lineman from last year, Damian Nieves, number 55, getting a little O-line action. He's played O-line, I believe it was his sophomore season as a varsity starter, but transitioned to the defensive side of the ball. Garcia will take the direct snap, and he'll look for the end zone, and that'll be a touchdown, Bulldogs, to extend the lead to 37, pending the PAT. The Bulldogs all-out dominant performance in this first quarter, 37-0. Elmwood Park has had nothing to stop the Bulldogs so far, or even try to keep up with the Bulldogs, if they've not even generated a first down.
Yeah.
John Biela-Bradick, he's been perfect all night. And he had a throwing, well, not a touchdown, but throwing two-point conversion. As the kick is up, and it is good. That'll extend the lead to 38 for the Bulldogs. As you can tell, Warren Mason is feeling it, and he's happy for his boys out there, happy for the squad. We'll see if Elmwood Park maybe switches it up a little bit on the offensive and defensive side of the balls. Maybe get some, well, to be honest, actually, they don't really have any subs that they can use.
No.
So, yeah.
You were talking about Warren Mason. He's definitely the one on the team that's always hyped no matter the situation. I know with the Glenbard game, they were down at some point, and he kept them hyped to even come back and win that game. And it's the little things, honestly, whether it's that or it's communication. It will either make or break your team, which is a huge part of any sport, I feel like. So just having at least someone to be able to keep you guys and keep them in track, to keep their energy high and stuff, will be a game changer.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Alex. Just having that energy, and I think that's what set aside the Bulldogs from the Glenbard South team, is they were definitely similar in talent, but I think the Bulldogs just brought an energy that was unmatched, and it led to them to believe that they could come back in. They successfully did, as we'll see John Biela-Bradick kick off for, I believe, the 5th time now, as it'll be a great kick. Oh, and it's a little bit of a dead, and he'll keep it in. Great kick from Biela-Bradick. DeHoney will look to return. He'll try to cut outside, but he'll just get swallowed up by the Bulldogs special team unit.
Ben Biskupic, it looks like.
Yep, and they'll get it around their own 12-yard line. A long way to go if they're looking to get points, Alex.
I think they got to start throwing. I know it didn't work out the one time they did it, but running, which they've been doing this whole game, has not either. So I think they got to start throwing it.
Yeah, maybe they could get me and you out there. We could score a touchdown or something like that. As they've had no success here in this first quarter of play, let alone this first half. It is 38-0 with the clock winding down for the first quarter. About 1:25 left to go. As we will see, DeHoney is no longer in there. It'll be number 32. I believe that is Patrick
Lohnane,
yeah. And different quarterback, same result, as the Bulldogs swallow him up, as he'll barely make it to the line of scrimmage. The Bulldog defense has looked strong all night. We'll see what the coaches call here. Nothing's really worked for the Tigers so far as they've tried runs. It's led to Bulldog touchdowns. They've tried passes. It led to Bulldogs touchdowns. They tried to punt it away and just give it to the Bulldogs. It led to touchdowns. When they successfully punted it, it led to Bulldogs touchdowns.
Yeah.
So nothing really working here. As the Honey looked like he was going to pass, but couldn't find anyone open, and his line didn't give him enough time to successfully complete anything there.
Yeah, the Tigers got to change something, whether it's on the coach's end or the player's end. Whatever it is, it's not working as the score tells.
And that'll do it here for the first quarter, as it has been all Bulldogs, 38-0. We'll see what the Elmwood Park offense can do for the second quarter of play, as they'll get a little break, hopefully a little refresher, and just try to make something happen on offense. Maybe it was the way they're going. Maybe the other way is lucky. So we'll see what they can do. They have about a 3rd down and 6, which has been probably their best of all night, as they haven't really had anything positive so far. So it'll be a 3rd and mid for the Honey and the Tigers offense, as we'll see definitely some new faces for this Bulldogs, practically all new faces, as I don't think I see one starter in for the Bulldogs. Yeah, this is great. You love to see it, getting some maybe JV talent or some less experienced varsity talent in, and just kind of let them develop and see what they're like on the varsity level.
And Coach Styler has said on the playbook as well, I don't know if these are exact words, but you can't treat any opponent differently. Every week is going to be, you're going to treat every game like it's going to be a tough matchup. And then they could be playing a bottom team in state or a top 10 team in state. The Bulldogs will leave everything they have out on the field.
That'll be caught. The first down of the game for the Tigers, as that'll be number 19, Zion Lopez, as that'll be the first catch of the game for the Tigers offense. Improvement here that we've seen from the first quarter. First play will be positive.
Mm-hmm.
You love to see it from DeHoney and the Tigers offense as they complete their first pass of the game. Definitely a rebuilding year for this Elmwood Park team, but just trying to get people involved and develop right now. Donnie will take the snap. He'll do a play action and he'll look to run. He'll get a decent and spins in, and that'll be another first down for the Tigers, as they're moving right now, folks. Thought I'd never see it, to be honest, Alex, but we're up around midfield. They'll have it at their own 45, I believe. That's 2 great plays back-to-back from DeHoney, as he is kind of proving to be a promising player. Maybe it's just the players around him that need a little bit of improvement. Mm-hmm. Hasn't had much time back there all night, Alex.
Yeah, something changed in that little time in between the quarters, and it seems to be working as of right now.
DeHoney will look to pass, and it's caught again. Zion Lopez. That'll be another first down, and this looks like a whole different Tigers offense. Granted, this is probably RB's third stringers, but you'd love to see it. Any way you can get it, you'll take.
And I feel like it's good for them, too, to even lock in even more now that they're making their way down to the other side to get the stop, which will mean more, especially if they want to keep it a score to a 0.
Yes. And we'll see what the Tigers offense can do as they're on back-to-back-to-back first downs. This is their, they'll snap it. DeHoney will look to get outside, but it'll just get stuffed. A swarm of Bulldogs defenders get to him. And that'll be their first loss of yards in the second half. DeHoney looks a little beaten up, but definitely strong and good mentality out there from DeHoney, as he just wants to keep pushing and hopefully get some positives from this game and from this half. And the student section is here, folks. Thought I'd never see it. An earlier game, definitely, as we started at 6, which normal game is, I believe, around 7:15. DeHoney will take it. A little miscommunication from him as a running back, going the opposite ways, but DeHoney it doesn't matter for him, as he'll take it, and that'll be about a 4-yard gain for the Tigers, and bring up that'll bring up around a 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8. And we'll get the swag surfing going in the student section, as that student section likes to get rowdy sometimes. You see it, and it's especially fun this year, as the Bulldogs are a promising team.
Yes. Hopefully this continues in the playoffs.
Yes, hopefully they can make a little run for playoffs, as it'll be the first time I've been able to see it in my RB career. As DeHoney will look deep, he'll launch it, and it'll be caught.
Yep. Yep, Zion Lopez.
Yeah, Zion Lopez again making a catch, and that'll be in the red zone for the Tigers. This will be their first end zone or red zone appearance of the night.
Third catch for Zion Lopez in this possession for the Elmwood Tigers.
Yeah, the Bulldogs maybe want to get another man on him, or maybe sub one of your starters and guard him, as he has proved he is varsity talent so far. As DeHoney will look under center, one with him in the backfield, as he'll fake handoff. He'll look to take it to the end zone, and that'll be a touchdown, Tigers. That'll cut the lead to 32. But there is a flag down. We'll see what the call is on the play. Just waiting for the ref's signal.
Max Perez going to the sideline to have a quick discussion with Coach Sam Seiler.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and that'll be unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. You don't like to see that in such a blowout game. Tension shouldn't be that high for the Bulldogs, especially as they're up by a very significant amount. But that'll opt for the Tigers to go for 2 and to try to get back in this game any way possible, as DeHoney will take the snap under center. They'll fake the jet sweep, and they'll throw, and it is caught. Number 20, Andres Vargas. Getting the 2-point conversion for the Tigers.
I think that touchdown was also scored by Joshua Anthony Manuel, which would be the first for him, obviously, and for the team. So now I think hopefully now they'll have maybe they'll have the energy now to continue to keep going.
Yeah, and I definitely think Sam Styler is probably not frustrated, obviously, if his Bulldogs have had a great performance so far, but definitely just kind of like, I don't know how to describe, like bummed out a little bit that his team gave up a touchdown and then giving up an unsportsmanlike conduct. You never like to see that as a coach, as that reflects on you as much as sometimes it doesn't, but it does reflect on you as a coach.
Yeah.
Just having players stay disciplined. As we'll see the Bulldogs kickoff receive unit for the first time.
And it does seem we have more of our starters out on the field.
And it appears that we'll have a running clock here.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't. A little miscommunication here by the refs in the press box. That's on us, guys. But this will be the second time we've seen the Bulldogs kickoff receive unit, besides the safety, which doesn't count, guys, as much as I'd like it to. But the kicks have both been kind of short, little line drive kicks, and that'll be another one to John Evans Jr. as he'll look to get it up the field. John Evans Jr.'s got room, and it looks like he'll go 20, 10, touchdown Bulldogs! As that'll be John Evans Jr. going from his 30 all the way to the house with 4 minutes and 45 seconds left here in the second quarter, as that'll extend the Bulldogs lead to 44-8, pending the PAT from John Bradick.
And I believe that is his first touchdown of the season as well.
Yeah, a great way to get your first touchdown of the season, as I mean, it was a 70-yard kickoff return. Kickoff returns always bring great energy to the stands and just to your whole team, as it can really get people going. John Bradick, as he might need to take a cold tub after this with how much he is kicking tonight with kickoffs and PATs, but he's probably used to it by now, as the Bulldogs are constantly scoring 50-plus points.
So none of us guessed the score right, but I guess we'll just see who's closer now.
As we take a look at our replay, just a great execution by this Bulldogs hands team and John Evans Jr. As we'll see, maybe this Elmwood Park Tigers offense can go back-to-back. Who knows? The Honey looked confident on that last drive, finding his favorite target, Zion Lopez, who's a 6-foot, 162-pound freshman. Wow, freshman at the varsity level. Rarely see that. And Daniel Duhoney, he is a senior. So maybe we'll see a younger quarterback get in if this lead gets even more out of hand.
And that was a great response to the previous touchdown by the Tigers. Great response by the Bulldogs. Which honestly, that's probably all you can ask for, is getting a touchdown after what went wrong.
Yeah, obviously you never like to give up touchdowns, but that's a great way to respond from this Bulldogs, just team in general. As we'll see John Bradick to kick off here after that awesome kickoff return by John Evans Jr. John Bradick has had great kicks all day, pinning them deep in their own half. We'll see if he can repeat here, as that's another one, but it'll roll out. That'll be a flag. And Duhoney and this Tigers offense will get it in some good starting field position. As we'll see kind of the same people going back on for the Bulldogs. We'll see if they can get their get back a little bit with how that other drive went. Yeah, and the Tigers will get it here at their 35. Ideal starting position. This has been their best starting position all night. Tigers looking to repeat from their last session. Duhoney in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. He'll roll out right. He'll pull it down and run, and he's got room, and he'll get about 5 on that carry, 5 or 6 yards for the Tigers on this first play. The Tigers have been rolling here in this second quarter. Again, definitely having a better second quarter, pardon, than their first, as they went scoreless and gave up 38 points. So can't really do worse than that. Donnie will take the snap. He's in the shotgun here. 3 wide receivers. Will fake it to the running back. Gets a little move, and he's off. Duhoney. And he'll get that about 10 yards, and that'll be a first down for the Tigers. This is their 4th consecutive first down. They haven't punted, which is not kind of rare, I guess.
Yeah.
DeHoney looks a little shaken up, though. Not sure if he's hurt or just kind of out of breath, as he's been their main vocal point on offense throughout this first half. There was a flag. It's coming back. Tough blow for this Tigers offense, as they were looking so positive and just kind of look they're getting their feet a little bit, getting in their rhythm.
Yes.
As DeHoney will look for the play call.
He's been kind of the game changer, one of the two, connecting the throws to his go-to target, I guess, Zion Lopez, with the 3 catches. And a good throw to get that touchdown as well. So
yeah, kind of odd that your favorite target's a freshman as you're a senior. I mean, maybe it's just chemistry in gym class or something, but it's kind of odd. You don't really see that much.
Yeah.
And you don't really see a freshman at the varsity level at football, just because of how physical of a sport it is, as I believe there'll be a timeout by the Tigers. By the Tigers. That'll be their first of the half, and first by any team in this first half, as they will have 2 remain here. Maybe just a little miscommunication on offense. They'll have about a 2nd down and 8 when we come back here. Tigers look like they know what they want to do. Getting out of the huddle quickly.
45 Bulldogs, 8 Tigers, with just a little over 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yeah, 2 minutes here left in the second half, or first half, pardon, as the Bulldogs have had complete dominance, to say the least. Only 1 touchdown here from the Tigers, as the Bulldogs have put up 45 points. Wow. DeHoney will take the snap. He'll look to throw. He'll look for a guy deep. That'll be his go-to, but it's picked by the Bulldogs. That'll be number 20. Ben Wiseman, he'll have a good return, and that'll be in enemy territory for the Bulldogs. Great play there, and Ben Wiseman definitely not getting a lot of playing time for the Bulldogs squad, but definitely showing why he could get some more maybe in the upcoming season and just the remainder of the season for the Bulldogs. Great play by him, as he's had a tough matchup so far with Zion Lopez, but Ben Wiseman getting his get back a little bit, as Zion had 3 catches in the last drive. And the Bulldogs will get possession here, 45-8 with 1:45 to go. We'll see what they can do. A little 2-minute drill for the Bulldogs, as you see Braden Novak going in at quarterback, as he's their starter. They're already up a significant number. You wonder what the coach's mindset is. Maybe get him some reps, and that'll be Will Rio. He'll make a move. He's got green grass ahead of him, but he gets tackled at about the 12-yard line. Great play from Will Rio just to find the ball and then make a move, and great job there from Tim Giacomelli, as you saw him blocking downfield. I feel like that's something in football that kind of goes under the radar a little bit, as the Bulldogs have great blocking. As Bubba Novak will receive it. He'll pass it outside to Dudzik, and Dudzik will get it to about the 5, and then he'll go out. And that won't stop the clock, as we have a running clock here. And the Bulldogs will have it in the red zone here from about their 5. Novak in the shotgun. He'll snap it. He'll look to throw to Dudzik. And Dudzik will get in there for the Bulldogs touchdown. That was about 1 minute and 15 seconds of running clock. And it only took 3 plays for the Bulldogs to get in for the touchdown. Dudzik's first touchdown on the year, but he does have 2 two-point conversions. That's why we call him Mr. 2-point.
That's huge for him. boost his confidence, hopefully, as the season continues on. Because I also remember, I think I was against Elgin, I believe. He dropped a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, so he's 2 for 3 on his 2-point conversion. 66%, not bad from the kid. As John Bielebradic will be out there again, and he is money. As we'll have about 27 seconds to see if the Tigers can do something with it here. Tigers defense does not look strong here, as Jake Dudzik will get his first touchdown of the season. Gets his first touchdown here in week 7. Tight end, more used as a blocking tight end and a special teams type of guy, but they and we'll see if this Elmwood Park can accumulate to anything here in this 27 seconds remaining, as they have 2 timeouts. I don't know, Alex. I think maybe if they get a decent kick return, they haven't had one all night as the blocking's been poor and just kind of looking for gaps, but I don't know, as we'll see DeHoney back there again for the Bulldogs as John Bielebradic is set to kick it away. He had a flag on the last one, which gave the Tigers great field position, but it ended in a turnover as they tried to go deep for Zion Lopez, but it accumulated to a Ben Wiseman interception as John Bielebradic will look away. John Bielebradic on the kick, and that'll be a good one as DeHoney will receive it about his own 5. He'll look to go, but just great overall. Wow, the Bulldogs have just been smothering them on the special teams so far.
Times like this, I feel like this is more about the smarts now, using the time wisely, running out of bounds when you need to. Obviously, the clock is not stopped, but it's more smarts, I would say, than football right now, especially if you want to make these last couple seconds make an impact.
And we are officially at halftime. 52-8 Bulldogs lead. It's been an all-out dominant performance for the Bulldogs so far. As we'll get back to in the second half with more football, we'll see if maybe the Tigers can mount a comeback. Most likely not, sadly. But we'll see you later on RBTV. Hello and welcome back to the second half of football where we have the Tigers versus the Bulldogs. It's been a one-sided affair so far as we see the Bulldogs up 52-8 versus the Elmwood Park Tigers. Granted, the Tigers get the ball here, so maybe they can amount to a comeback, but we'll see what they can do for the second half of football. As we'll see John B. Lebradic, who's probably had more field time than anyone, to be honest, kick off for the second half. Alex, what were your thoughts on the first half?
I think the RB defense has been phenomenal, only letting up a touchdown and then a 2-point conversion, which is impressive, especially in having not their starters play, getting some third string down to play. And then the second quarter was definitely better for Elmwood Park as they did score a touchdown. They were connecting more passes, which I think helped them get the lead, or not the lead,
yeah, we'll see John B. Lebradic kick it here, and that'll be probably one of his worst kicks of the night. As he said, such a successful night kicking, but they'll get it about the 35-yard line, number 24 for the Elmwood Park Tigers on the return. That'll be Isaac Mator. And we'll see if the Tigers maybe switch it up a little bit here on offense. Obviously, they don't really have the player personnel to be able to switch it up. But, you know, you never know. We could see what goes on, and we're going to probably see some new looks on offense here and defense side of the ball for the Bulldogs, as maybe they try to get some less experienced players, as we saw that sort of trending in the first half. We hear some Tigers chants around here, as that'll be a fake handoff, and DeHoney will take it himself, but it'll amount to nothing, as he'll get about maybe a yard or so. That'll be a 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers. Maybe a 2nd down and 8. We'll give him 2 yards on that. A little generous from the referees, I would say. But they kind of need it right now as they're down a lot. DeHoney's still in, as he is senior quarterback, though. He'll take the snap in shotgun. He'll drop. Ooh. Oh, and it's a muffed snap, as he'll just have to fall on the ball. And the lucky break there for the Tigers, as that could have got ugly, folks. The Tigers, lucky that they have the ball. Unlucky that it is now 3rd and a country mile.
Smart play to just hover over it so they don't lose any more yards than they already did.
Yeah. It'd be a smart play in a close ball game, but sometimes you got to take risks, folks, and when you're down as much as they are. But, you know, that's just the game. As DeHoney he'll take the snap. It'll be a fake handoff. Another QB run, as we've seen. Not a common theme here in this football game, but another common theme is the running amounting to nothing. And the Bulldogs getting back to their old selves after giving up that touchdown. The last 2 possessions from that touchdown being an interception and a negative 5-yard drive. Great back-to-back possessions from the Bulldogs, and a great way to start the second half, as we'll get a punt from the Tigers. A little unique, as they're down so many points, you'd think it wouldn't matter if they punted. But DeHoney does it all for the Tigers, as he'll look to punt deep. And that'll be a good punt from DeHoney, and he'll get a Tigers bounce. That is bouncing, and it'll stop it around the Tigers' the Bulldogs' 33-yard line. And that'll be a pretty good flipping of the field for the Tigers, as that's probably been one of their more positive plays all night, and it's a punt. So that's got to be a little disappointing. But you'll take the small wins Yeah, you just got to take the small wins in football.
Every little thing counts.
And we'll see who's going out at quarterback, and that'll be Sean Ruckman, the sophomore, who starts on the JV1 team here at RB, getting his first varsity reps. I assume it'll be a lot of running and short passing plays, but anything will do it for this sophomore quarterback, as he'll hand it off to Lorenzo Burke, who gets stuffed at the line. He'll just be pushed back. Refs blow the whistle, and then it'll be a loss of yards. It'll probably be a loss, or maybe he'll get right back to the line. Either way, not positive. And that'll bring up, oh, sorry, he got 1 yard, folks. That'll be a 2nd and 9 from the 34. Ruckman waiting for the play call, as Coach Vojak, the offensive coordinator, chatting it up with the refs on the sidelines. Looks a little frustrated out there. We'll see Lorenzo Burke in the backfield again. And maybe a pass play from the sophomore, his first pass attempt. We'll see, folks, as he'll hand it off again to Burke. Burke breaks a tackle. He'll look to get outside, but he is stuffed again by this Elmwood Park D. Elmwood Park defense looking strong to come out here in the second half, as that'll be a 3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs, their first 3rd and long of the game, as they've basically scored on every possession. Ruckman making his debut for this varsity squad. We'll see what he can do. Maybe dial up a pass here. You also see more inexperienced players. Delancey Caffrey on the field for the Bulldogs. Will Rio as well. Will Rio, we saw, had a big catch in the first half as he almost took it to the house, getting stopped at the 5-yard line. We'll see what they can do again. Ruckman, it'll be a QB run. He'll look to run. He'll split a gap, and he goes outside. Ruckman, he's got green grass ahead of him. He'll take it down the sideline. Ruckman, and he'll get stopped at around the Tigers' 20. That'll be a great run and a really big confidence booster for Ruckman, as he is a sophomore, and that was his first big play on varsity. It's got to feel good from Ruckman to be able to kind of embrace this role and just kind of try to get more comfortable in his position.
And Ruckman having a little chat with
Coach Vojak,
yes,
I believe. Ruckman, great job so far controlling his offense. This will be him in about 2 years' time, as Bubba Novak and Giancarlo Garcia are only juniors, but Ruckman will probably most likely be the starter his senior year. And that'll be a jet sweep to Giacomelli. Giacomelli looking to take it, but he slips. That'll only gain him a handful of yards, and another penalty, a late flag from the referees. You have to assume it's something unsportsmanlike.
It seemed like a late hit. Maybe that's wrong, but that's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah, I didn't see anything, to be honest. I was looking more at Giacomelli on the jet sweep. We'll see what they call here. And that'll be, yep, an unsportsmanlike on the Tigers. And that's a lucky break for the Bulldogs, as not a great play. And they'll get about half the distance to the goal. It'll be a first down for the Bulldogs. And Ruckman looking to get his first varsity touchdown. We'll see if he can do it here, folks. It's a running clock. There's already been about 8 minutes chewed off in this second half. Ruckman will take the snap in shotgun. He'll hand it off to Burke. Burke's got a grab, but he'll get tackled just a few yards short, if anything, probably around the 2-yard line. That'll be second down and goal for the Dogs. Ruckman doing a great job controlling his offense on this drive. As you see, some of the Bulldogs kind of having some funny exchanges on the sidelines, just cheering on their teammates, doing the best they can to have a good time, as they're going to have a couple tough weeks upcoming as they play Glenbard East, who is competing for the conference title, as alongside West Chicago, who also beat this team 61-8.
Who we play next week, I believe.
Yeah, and Ruckman gets in there for the touchdown. That'll be Sean Ruckman's first varsity touchdown as a sophomore. You love to see it, as that boosts his confidence so much. That you love to see it. Just great play from all the Bulldogs, and Ruckman gets credit for that. As you see his teammates congratulating him on the sideline. One thing about this Bulldogs team, and I get a chance to tune into the playbook every week. You guys should tune in if you get a chance too. You get a cool insight on the football program, because my two buddies, Aiden Sheff and Colin Semino, they get chatted up with Coach Styler. And Coach Styler, he just says how close this team is, man, and all the adversity they face, and just the off-season program that they go through to get close with each other and how much they practice. It's really cool to see. As the Bulldogs are good. John B. LeBredick pretty much automatic at this point, and that'll be a 59-8 Bulldogs leading by 51 points. This has got to be crushing for the Tigers, but they've seen this all season, folks, so it is really no different. As we'll see, I think Jake Ratana might go out there for the kick, folks, as we saw Ratana kick a little bit his sophomore year, as Neve Larson was the kicker, but she was mainly for field goals. Jake Ratana had a little more power, maybe a little more inaccurate though, as we'll get about 1 minute remaining in this third quarter, and the Bulldogs will kick it off here. Ratana just looking to pin them deep and try to stall out their drive. John B. LeBredick has done a great job of that all day, but we'll see if Ratana can help his boy out, John out. And Ratana on the kick, and that'll be pop fly to Elmwood Park, and they'll look to return it. That'll be DeHoney. DeHoney will get it outside, but he gets stuffed by Ratana. That is a good return, though. They get it around the 40. We'll see if their offense can amount to anything here, as they've had a rough, to be honest, besides their touchdown, all their drives have been pretty rough. We'll see a whole new look on defense here, as there are now no starters in at all.
It's always fun playing different positions than you're used to. As you know, you did that in the soccer game recently, and it makes the game more fun when it's maybe not the most fun game you've played. So that just adds a little more fun to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, obviously you love a close game, but it's kind of sometimes relieving, not to necessarily say it's a bye week, but like just have those games where it's like not all that serious of an approach, and maybe you get a little break. But like Styler says, every week's a new week. You try to go 1-0 every week, no matter your record. And Styler doesn't care that his team is 6-0 right now. He sees both teams as 0-0. And I think that mentality wins you games, to be honest.
Yeah.
As the Bulldogs remain undefeated, and it looks pretty promising from here on out, Alex, as they're 7-0. They're ranked high in 6A division, as they're ranked as the 10th best team in the 6A division, which kind of unheard of for an RB team. But we'll see. As we see the same quarterback, we've seen Daniel DeHoney all day, as DeHoney has had a good game. Just Elmwood Park can't keep up with the powerhouse this Bulldogs has. It'll be a muff snap. DeHoney lucky to gain it back. It took a DeHoney bounce, and he'll bounce it outside, but that'll really accumulate to nothing besides they'll get about 10. Lucky that they got any there, as that muff snap kind of messed him up, but luckily DeHoney gathered, and he got about a 10-yard gain on that. You see Delancey Caffrey checked in at corner. Normally I feel his position is more of a wide receiver, but this game he's playing a little bit of corner, maybe trying out a new position here. Is you never know. Maybe he's really good at it in this first, and maybe he's all right, but he can learn. As we'll see what the Bulldogs can do here. As DeHoney will take the snap. He'll fake the handoff. He'll try to get outside, but he is wrapped up. Number 33, Jamarion Atkins with the stop. Great play from Jamarion, who also plays basketball as well and is in our RBTV class. Shout out Jamarion Atkins.
Yes.
I think Mr. Beasley got that wrong. Sorry, Mr. Beasley, I love you, but don't think that was the right call there. DeHoney, he's had a good night so far, but some setbacks as he's taken them big losses, as this was another one, as there'll be a 2nd and 17. Sometimes you just got to know when to give it to your running back, as he'll send a man in motion. He'll take the snap. He'll fake the handoff. The common theme we've seen all. He'll try to get outside, and he does. And that'll be a pretty decent play for the Bulldogs, or sorry, for the Tigers, as they'll get it to a 3rd down and manageable. As it'll be about a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 5 or 6 to go. Definitely manageable for this Tigers team.
Yeah, DeHoney's been all over the field, honestly, this whole game. Done a lot for his team tonight, got a lot of the runs that's helped them get, obviously, the first downs and so on.
Yep, I'd have to agree with you. DeHoney's been their whole offense here. And he did find a wide receiver, Zion Lopez, a couple of times, but he's been silent here in the second half as we have 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter. DeHoney takes the snap. It's low, but he'll pick it up. But he gets nothing, as it'll be a fumble, and it's out. But they say he was down before. Great play from this Bulldogs defense to get in there and get that sack on 3rd down to make it a 4th down. And, oh, they said it was incomplete. Sorry. So that'll be Gabe Velez getting in on the sack. It'll be a 4th down and manageable. 4th and about 6 for the Tigers, as they're down 51 points. I've never seen a team put up 51 points in 8 minutes, but it could be a first time for, there's a first time for everything, Alex. So we're looking to see what the Tigers can do here. And DeHoney's still under center for them. He's been their captain all night. And he'll fake the handoff. We've seen this probably, honestly, all their plays, as the Bulldogs will stop them short, and that'll be Bulldogs ball. For maybe the Bulldogs will try to kill some time, as there's only about 7:50 left in this game, as it's a running clock from here on out, as the score is a wide enough margin where I can safely say that the Bulldogs have this game in the bag.
Yes, continue their winning streak, which is huge for them as they are nearing the end of their season, going into playoffs. Just keep the momentum throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, just keeping the momentum and getting some sophomores in there that maybe will have to step up next year, as this senior class was heavily relied upon, obviously, for this Bulldog squad, and we need some sophomores to step up, as we'll see Sean Ruckman go back in there in the quarterback. He'll hand it off, and that'll be a good run from Damian Renteria. He'll have a gap, and he is gone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. That'll make the score 65-8.
And that is Damian's 3rd touchdown of the season. As we said earlier, last home game, he had one on offense and defense. He can add another one to that offense.
Yeah, great play from Renteria. He looked faster than everyone on that field there. And that he's been a significant player on this varsity team for, I believe, 3 years now. He was on varsity since sophomore year, I believe. Great play from Damian to get into the end zone, as we'll see John Bielabradic back on to kick. There's a little bit of a muff snap. And John will have to do something with it, and he'll just run it in. That'll make the score 67-8. As
You definitely guessed the score better than I did.
yeah, what did I say?
You said 60, I believe.
Yeah, and we'll see the muff snap accumulates to an extra point for the Bulldogs, as they'll get 2 instead of 1. Perfect execution there from John Bielabradic.
Speed is something we definitely do better than the Elmwood team. We just have way faster.
Yeah, just faster, stronger guys out there, and that's going to win you football games in the end. Just being able to have that is key, obviously. Like, if you are the most technical football team, it doesn't matter if you don't have athletic players. As we'll see, about 5 minutes, nearing 5 minutes till the end of this ball game. 67-8. Wow. Yeah. 6-7, definitely a comical number.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Jacob Raton is set to kick. He is a 6-7 advocate.
Okay.
Yeah. And he already had a good kickoff here in the first his first attempt, as that'll be a deep one, and it'll take a good bounce for Elmwood Park, as he'll try to get upfield, but it'll only end up getting up to about the 25-ish yard line. That was Daniel DeHoney. As we see the Bulldogs special teams stuff him.
4 minutes left in this game. Yeah, there's no chance that Elmwood can come back and win this.
Yeah, probably no chance, to be honest. 3 minutes 45 here. If they make this comeback, I'd be really surprised. I try to stay
Hopeful for them.
hopeful, yeah. But I also try to stay realistic. And I do not believe this is realistic at all. As we'll see, nearing 3 minutes 30 seconds. We'll see if this Bulldog squad can maybe end on a positive, or Elmwood maybe ending on a positive here.
A positive for them is one more touchdown, I would say.
Yeah, just ending, and that'll be DeHoney trying to get outside, but he'll only get about 3 or 4 there, and that'll wind the clock down a bit. Gain of 3 there for the Tigers. DeHoney, he's racking up those stats right now. And that's honestly all I can say it is, as we're nearing 2 minutes 40 seconds left in this football game. Dominant performance by the Bulldogs, even by the second and third stringers. They would have won the game alone with how they've been playing. So props to them. And just RB now knows that there's so much depth that they have at these positions, as DeHoney will take it, and he'll be short of the first down, only gaining around 4 there. That'll bring up a 3rd and about 3.
This is definitely a confidence boost game as they go against West Chicago next week.
Yeah, West Chicago's offense, definitely one of the better offensive in the upstate area. I say they're top 4. Top 4 being, I'm going to put RB as 1, obviously I'm biased, but then I'd put Glenbard South, Glenbard East, and then West Chicago. So one of the better teams that RB will see in this conference. Elmwood Park probably being the worst, as they are 0-4 in conference so far. So Honey will take it as he breaks one, and he'll get to about the 45-yard line. Good run from DeHoney there. as we're near a minute 20 left. We'll see what the Tigers can do with their remaining time. Maybe take a deep shot. You never know. I mean, it's a lot of time in football. Not that much time, though. As DeHoney definitely taking his time here. Almost about 30 seconds from the last play. As DeHoney will look to throw. And he'll look to... and that'll be tipped and incomplete. Good breakup by... was that Delancey Caffrey on that side. Good play from the RB defensive unit. All around great coverage there as we saw the safety lurking too. And this will probably be the last play of our game. 15 seconds. We'll start the countdown soon as DeHoney will take the snap. He'll run it right. He'll try to find a gap. And he's moving, folks. And he'll gain about 20 there. Great run to end off the game on. As that'll be it from us, folks. 67-8, the Bulldogs beat the Elmwood Park Tigers. That's all from RBTV, and we'll see you next time. My name was Henry Juergens. My partner in the booth, Alex McQueenie. See you.